Well, here we are again. FedEx has dropped this off for me just now, and it's getting kind of hard to find cheap ammunition. This is 8mm Mauser ammo, but it was a little different because it's pretty old. Let's see. And there's unearthly stuffing material. And, oh yes, 1943. Oh, really? Original ammunition from 1943. Drop it and blow it up. Yeah, weird. And even then, because of shipping, it still cost me some money, but still cheaper than buying stuff even at the store. I got this at J&G Sales in Arizona, and they advertised these were going for how much? I think it was 15 bucks a box. Yeah. So it was $45 plus shipping was $15. So altogether, let's see, with the sales tax, came to $64.80 for 45 rounds. Believe it or not, that is cheap because you can't buy it but cheaper than that. Nowhere around here anyway. Let's see if this will come out. Oh, come on. Well, I'll tell you one thing. It's really in there. Let me see. Oh, I see one. Staple here. Anyway, let's see. We'll do it this way. There it goes. All right. Now, well, kind of what I expected. Actually, it's steel cased ammo, and it's weird. It looks like some of the stuff I've been getting from Romanian ammo I've been getting for my 7.62 by 5.4 and 7.62 by 3.9. But compared to this, it didn't carry as much powder. That one carries a lot more powder. Okay, so I got that. I guess I had a decent price on it finally for once. So so I decided, okay, I bought a couple boxes. I do have a way to reload, and I do reload some of these too. The 8mm I really love stuff. The one I talked to you about today was the Martini Henry, both of them here, and you can see that the original one, that would be this one, made in 1878. And right, this lever down here, it's got a short lever. Okay, later on, the advancement they made later on, around 1880 something, I think it was. This was made in 1886, and notice it's got a longer lever. This thing here is probably twice the length, I think. Look at it. Oh, there we go. Pretty hard to do this one-handed, but you can see there's a big difference. Then, of course, when it's loaded or cocked, you see that right there. That's how you know it's loaded. So there's no need to check it out unless, of course, you know you threw something in there. This one actually does have, this older one has an even longer indicator on it. If you look at it. This one here is about that long. But, strange thing was, these were used, they were single shot, no magazine, and but they use this. That's a 5.77 by 450. So basically it's a 45 caliber bullet, but it's got, let's see, it'll be a 5.577 millimeter. That's a shell. So that's mostly full of powder. Bullets right up to there, and then this whole thing down below is just full of powder. And these were full of black powder. They had no smokeless powder then. And but you can imagine, the only way these would work effectively, in the Battle of Rourkes Drift they did, only because those guys, they had a defensible position where only like the day, actually the same day, 1,500 soldiers got killed in the column, the 1,500, the main column, in Isandlwana, I think is how it's pronounced. And what happened there was, they mostly had tents. So really there were no defensible positions. You had no walls, you had nothing. Basically you're out in the open, and you have these actually I think it's between 4,000 and 5,000 Zulus all around. But when they attacked, now in that case, they attacked in force. Where the Rourkes Drift, which was actually a mission station, actually it was a Swedish mission station, but also the reason why it was called Rourkes Drift was Rorke was a guy who owned a trading post there. So basically it was a trading post and a station for the Swedish. And what happened there was they had at least enough things they could use for defenses. And if you look at the battle itself, you see if the Zulu had gone ahead and attacked with, you know, maybe 2,000 or 3,000 men, they would have overwhelmed them at Rourkes Drift. They had 150 guys. That's it. And yet the whole column of 1,500 just got wiped out, like in the morning. In the afternoon, the Zulus showed up at Rourkes Drift, but at least they had a runner from the column show up, and he told them what happened up there. And then they were able to start preparing. It took them a couple hours. And John Chard, he was came down from the column. He was an engineer, and he was supposed to go. He was supposed to be building a bridge so the column could get across the river, because I forget what they called the name of the river, but it was, I think, I don't know, Big River or something. Oh, Bear River, that's what it was, yeah. But yeah, so they came across, they needed to send the column across Bear River, but they didn't have a bridge. So he went down there to build this bridge, and he got caught right in the middle of this thing. They said he came down from the main column that had the 1,500 men that just got killed, and he ends up over to this other place, like this is like in the afternoon, and that's when the Zulu starts showing up. But the only good thing about them was the fact that the Zulus never sent, when they made attacks, they didn't send, you know, thousands at one time. They would send probably about, you know, anywhere from 100 to 200 men, and they'd be going down there. And you figure they only had, these other guys only had 150 men total. But with these, the only effective way to use these was you had to have volley fire. You had to have enough men in a line firing these things, and that's what really saved them. They went ahead, they didn't use this independent fire at will. They used volley fire. They would have basically about, they say, somewhere between 15 and 20 men per line, and what they do is they front line would kneel down, guy would be behind them, and then the other ones would be higher up. So you had each one firing. So by the time they were firing at the same time, it was basically like a machine gun going off. So they were able to pick them off pretty good because they were coming over the walls. But yeah, it's pretty interesting. This is like 15 pages, but I think about it's got all the photos and stuff of who was in the battle and all that sort of stuff, and quite a few references in here too. I just haven't looked at it. There's just a whole bunch of references for the battle and stuff. But yeah, it's a pretty interesting thing. But yeah, it's just hard to believe something like this could save them. And I guess the British didn't want to have too many catastrophes in one day. Luckily, they didn't have Rourkes Drift, but they did with the other one. But this is a pretty hefty rifle anyway. This thing weighs 12 pounds. And luckily, it just has one bullet, but that's what opens it. You just pull the handle down, and then, you know, you can go ahead, run it back. This one here, I think, yeah, it loosens up. So, but this one here is the one I basically use this one for a wall hanger. I shoot this one. Same thing, same weight, but it actually does open real well. These bullets really feed really well inside of it. So yeah, not a big deal at all. You just shove it right back down in there. I'm not gonna do it right now. But yeah, it works really well. But my main problem, ammo. This box of ammo was made in 1943. I still cannot find anybody locally or even the next couple of states over or whatever. I've tried other places to buy ammo, and they're totally out of it. There's a couple of guys I saw were making this stuff, but basically you have to go ahead and get 24 gauge brass, and you gotta form it, and you gotta cut them down, and it's just really a hassle. It'd be better if you just had just those. And I'm trying to find some reloading stuff for them, for my RCBS loader or reloader, but so far everybody I looked, they're out of them. And if they do have them, they would be about 200 bucks just for those. And all I'd be able to do is reuse the shells I have. That's all I can do. But you can see the shells by themselves are still big. I figure there's got to be a shell that size. So yeah, anyway, that's what I had going today. That was it. I just had one delivery and had to go over that with these guns. I actually have 3 of them. I got another one from both 1878s. This one works better than the other one. The other stock is basically hanging on my wall with all my other stuff. All right. Hello, Chud. And yes, Chubby's here. He's just wandering around. Hello. But I got a few guns hanging up there. Oh, sure, Chud. In fact, let's see. Which one was it? Oh, yeah, the one up on the top. That one there. That was Chubby. Shh. That was the one where I was up in my brother's cabin, and I didn't know one of my handguns had been loaded. And that was one that was loaded at the time. I ended up putting a cap on it, and I shot it, and it bounced off his door frame. Luckily, it was oak, so it just bounced off. It didn't go through it. Had I gone a couple inches over, I would have gone through a stained glass panel that was right alongside. But yeah, weather-wise, these things, better throw something down there to check and see if it's loaded first before you use it. And of course, these are all black powder revolvers. And there's my other. Boop. There we go back. Okay, that's my 1878 one. And there's my dog running around going nuts again. And that's a 3-band Enfield. And I'll try that one of these days too. And that's a double barrel 1860 shotgun. Also black powder. Never shot it. Then that's my other rifle I made down there. It's a 45 caliber Hawken. But yeah, so we got stuff around here. I got so much junk around here. If I die, my daughter's going to have a heck of a time. I got radios and guns and you name it around here. But anyway, so what do you think, Chubbs? And he is goofy. I finally had I had a heck of a time getting his claws cut yesterday. I had to end up wearing leather gloves because he kept trying to bite me the whole time. But he's crazy. But anyway, he's 12 years old. That's right, his birthday was just, well, it's coming up. It's in like 2 days, huh? Yeah, 2 days. It's 2 days. Well, anyway, say hi. Smile. Okay. That smile. Bye-bye.